Good morning, students. I hope you would have studied the previous class. What we studied? What we studied? We studied about reflection of light, types of reflection, laws of reflection, and then we studied about spherical mirrors. There are two types of spherical mirrors. One is called a concave mirror, and another one is called a convex mirror. And today's class we are going to study these three topics: relation between R and F, image and its types, image formed by a plane mirror and its characteristics. If possible, we will study all the three. If time goes fast, we will reduce one topic. Shall we go? Okay. A quick review of the previous class. In the previous class, we studied about a concave mirror. The white color one is a polished surface. The other side it is called a rough surface. So where the light falls on a polished surface, bounced back, reflected back. That can be represented by this type of diagram. You can just draw a curved surface. Children, to draw the mirror, you can use your protractor, or at home if you have old CDs or broken CD, a part of the CD is enough to draw, but you have to use any one of these materials or any other spherical material. Simply don't draw the spherical surface. So this diagram is about concave mirror, and the same thing in the inverse way, if it comes, it is called as a convex mirror, bulged out. The bulged outside surface is polished and the inside is a rough surface. Then this mirror is called a convex mirror. And this is the way we represent a concave mirror and a convex mirror. Now, in this diagram, in the previous diagram, the center point, that is the point P in this one, or the point P in this diagram, that is called the point called pole. If I take here, this point is called pole, and here it is called, this point is called pole of the mirror. Now, any mirror, this is, let us take the first one as a concave mirror, where parallel beam of light is falling. So I have represented parallel beam. How to represent a parallel beam? Just by drawing. These are the parallel beam. Instead of one, many rays I have taken. In the case of a convex mirror, they are all called as parallel rays. Such a parallel rays are falling on the mirror. That means what? Object is very far. Object is at infinity, long distance, even sun rays. A distant object. From that, the light falls on the mirror. When the light falls on, all are incident light. These rays are the parallel rays. After falling on the mirror, they all will get bounced, reflected, and they all will converge at a point. This is the point where they are converging. The point where all the reflected rays meet, that point is called focus. Are you clear? After reflection, if all the rays are meeting at a point, that point is called focus. And the distance between the focus and the pole, that distance is called focal length. Suppose if I take it, what is the focal length? This distance, P to F, this distance is called as the focal length. The same thing if I come for a convex mirror, the incident rays are parallel rays, but this is the reflecting surface for us. Afterward, the light cannot pass, light cannot come on the other side. So after reflection, these are the reflected rays. They are called diverged rays, divergent beam. Already we have studied in the previous class, converged beam, diverged. So these reflected rays are converged, these reflected rays are diverged. Any diverged rays will never meet. So in order to get the image, we produce the rays. This is the first reflected ray. I produce it back by dotted lines. I am drawing. The second ray, produce it. Third ray, produced. Fourth ray, produced. All are meeting at the point F. So that point is called focus for a convex mirror. So, and the distance between the pole and the focus is called as the focal length. So in this diagram, you have 3 points. One is pole, another one is focus, and the third one is center of curvature. Same manner here also. So what is this distance? If you take the distance between the pole and the center, because this is a part of a spherical surface we derived. Pole to center, that distance is called as the radius. And that is, if I take here this distance P to C, this distance is called radius. P to C, this distance is called radius. And the distance between pole to focus, that distance is called as the focal length. That length is called focal length. So this is the way we have derived. Actually, this is a mirror. Which mirror? Concave mirror. It is derived from a, or it is taken out, it is made from a big spherical surface. And what are all the important parts we should know? One is called the pole, another one is called center of curvature. Distance between pole to center is called the radius of curvature. And if I draw a line from, suppose I draw a line from center to this one, this is called radius. If I draw a line, this distance is called, sorry, it's from the center. If I draw a line from the center to, from the point C to surface, that is called a radius. And the distance between P and F is called focal length. So the same thing for a this is for a concave mirror, and this one is the same one, it is represented for a convex mirror. The diagram is representing concave mirror, and here it is for a convex mirror. All the points whatever we studied, it is given. Now what mirror it is? By seeing you can say light falls on the mirror and comes inside itself. So it is nothing but it's a concave mirror. Can you understand? The point P, the point F, the point C. What is the distance PC? PC is called radius. What is the distance PF? PF is called focal length. Now, in this diagram, a ray of light falls on the mirror at the point X, and afterwards the ray reflected comes like this. It obeys the laws of reflection. That's why angle of incidence is theta, angle of reflection also represented as theta. Leave about this theta, I will come to this later. So what is the relation between the distance F and the distance R? We have to see. So that is the next part, relation between R and F. So this is what mirror? Concave mirror. What is PC called? Radius. What is PF called? Focal length. And one more thing, the line which is passing through P, F and C, it is called principal axis. See, in the previous one, this line is called principal axis. Actually, we are drawing. There won't be any principal axis and all in the thing. For understanding the size of the image, object, we need to know. That's why we are drawing. The line is called the principal axis. Now the same thing, incident ray, here it is parallel ray, reflected ray is converged beams. Here without that it is represented. R is marked and F is marked. So what is the relation? Is there a standard relation between the focal length and radius? They found that there is one standard relation between focal length and radius. If focal length is 12 centimeter, they found that the radius is 24 centimeter. That is given by the formula F equal to R by 2. Now tell me, suppose my radius of this spherical surface is 26 centimeter. 26 centimeter. Then what is the focal length? Then substitute in the formula. What is our radius? 26. 26 by 2, 13. Then the focal length is 13 centimeter. Children, are you clear? The relation between F and R is F is equal to R by 2. Now I have a doubt. Can I cross multiply these two? Then what is the formula I will have? R is equal to what formula I will have? Yes, you are right. R is equal to 2 into F. So F is equal to R by 2, or you can write R is equivalent to 2F. This is the relation between F and R. And one thing you remember, it is applicable for both concave mirror and convex mirror. Whether it is a concave or convex doesn't matter. Both the formula remains the same, F equal to R by 2. Are you clear, children? So we will move on to the next one. What is this? Somebody is seeing the mirror, self-adjusting the dress. Who is this? Who is this? Both are same, but this is real. This is the thing what we are seeing on the other side of the mirror. We call it as this person who is standing in front of the mirror is called the object, and what we are seeing through the mirror is called as the image. Same thing here. If you take it, I have a mirror. What mirror? I have a plain mirror. In front of the plain mirror I kept one jug. So this is the object. The same jug you can see through the mirror. This is called as the image. So what is the object? Anything which gives light. If it is not having light, you cannot see anything. That is called the object. So bulb, candle, oh, they are objects which gives light energy. But pen, pencil, tree, your face, your notebook, your cell phone, your system, everything is called as an object which gives out its light. Okay, its own light or luminous or non-luminous, doesn't matter, it gives. That is called as object. That object, when it falls on some of the surfaces, either reflecting surface, then we get something. And if you see your face on the mirror, you see a on your own face, you will see. You show your hand, you will see that one. What you're seeing on the other side of the mirror is called as the image. It's not only on the mirror, on a water surface or any polished surface. That is called the image. And there are two types of image. One is called real image and another one is called a virtual image. So two types of images are available. One is real and another one is virtual. Now see, a person is standing in front of the mirror and he's about to shake with the person on the other side. He wants to shake his hand with the other person. But can he shake it? No. Because this is the object. His own image is formed. He cannot touch. He just goes close by this much we can touch. But he can't go and do anything on this man. So what type of image is this? We should know. Now see here, in this case the image of the person is same. Object and image both are exactly same manner it appears. Now here somebody is adjusting or fixing something. And see, this is the object, the real person. And what we are seeing on the other side, this is the image, his own image. See, there is another mirror. Here what you are getting, this is part of the his face you can see, his body you can see. This is one image, this is another image, but this is the real human being. Now see here, somebody is showing the hand on towards the mirror. See, what type of image? The hand size is very big here. The image size is very big. Or I name the image is called enlarged image. You would have seen in your life somewhere else such type of enlarged image. This is the object and the image both are same size. Here both object and image are same size. But here this is the object and the image is, this is the image. This is an enlarged image. Babre, a person whose face, how big it is. This is the person's real one, and what we are seeing here, it is called as the image. Enlarged or same size? Enlarged. What is this mirror? I think it's a makeup mirrors. People we use when you go to parlor or any spa, there you can see this type of mirrors. They will show it that one. It's an enlarged image. So you will get these type of images. Have you seen this type of image? Already I discussed on the other day. Such a big building is brought inside a small mirror. So what is this building? The image produced by the mirror is a small one. Or here the mirror produces a diminished image, reduces the size of the thing. Now see, such a big multi-story building. On a small mirror we get the image. So this mirror, it produces a diminished image. So we have seen the image of, here you see a person is in the inverted one. Upside down we can see. If you turn and see, you will come to know. And here the person's head is in the down and this way. So there are various ways we get the image. Same thing you can check at home by taking spoon or any kadai or any vessel. You take it and see your face in the front, the back, side. You will see your face sometimes same size, sometimes enlarged, sometimes diminished, sometimes elongated, sometimes very fatty person like that. All are will take place only in a concave or a convex surface. That only we have to study. Can you check today at home? This is with the help of a spoon. One side is concave surface. If the same person sees his face on the other side, it appears as a convex surface. Now, here it is the same size image, but it is an inverted. See here, the image is enlarged, and here it is a diminished size. Size is increased, size is reduced, and here the size remains the same, but it is inverted. So these are the ways in which we get the image. But I should know what is a real image. If you can catch any image on the screen, then that is called a real image. In our school, you will have a class in LCD, conference hall, any place. There we catch the image. It is projected on the wall, it is projected on the screen, then it is called a real image. Very well, good, very good example. It is an image produced on the cinema hall is an example of a real image. And this we will learn in detail in second chapter. Time being, somebody is standing, you are seeing your friend standing in front of you. The image formed on your eye is an inverted image and it is a real image. There is a screen. The screen we call it as retina. This part we will learn little later. It is an inverted image. On our retina we get an inverted image only. A cinema hall, the image is a real image. This is a real image. This is also a real image. These are all few examples for real image. Then what is a virtual image? The second type of image. Virtual image which cannot be obtained on a screen. What you are seeing your face on a mirror. Every day you are seeing at home your face on the mirror. That is a virtual image. We are seeing a rear view mirror. Vehicles, there are certain mirrors to see who is coming behind. That forms a virtual image. You cannot catch it on a screen. Then it is called a virtual image. So what is this image? Real image or virtual image? Yes, it's a virtual image. You see your face on a mirror. Real image or virtual image? Virtual image. This is a virtual image as well as it is an enlarged image. See here in this diagram, light falls from the sun on the tree and you are seeing the thing. This is a real image directly. And this case it is a virtual image. And here, children, you can note down all these points. Whatever we studied, the difference between real image and virtual image is given here. Just you can note it down this part. Are you clear? And this is a simple example. You can try at home. Some of you may be having, in your childhood, you would have played with this type of a magnifying glass. Some of you may be having at home. Just in front of the any flame or any light source, you keep and see, you can catch the flames image on the wall. This is a real image. The same lens, you can hold it and see the flame like this. Then it is called as a virtual image. Are you clear? So today's class we studied, first we studied about what? Anybody? Can you recall quickly? Images, types of image, real image, virtual image. Then what else we studied? Relation between focal length and radius. These are the things we studied in today's class. About the plane mirror, I'll come in the next class. Please study, children. Then and there, open your book and read. Thank you.